Okay, well, the wasp got away. And I don't know where it is. I don't know if it flew out or if it's in there hiding somewhere. And I'm sleeping in there tonight. For those of you who don't know me, I'll just tell you that I have had and raised tarantulas, scorpions, snakes, lizards, like all kinds of creepy crawly things. And I was okay with them. But wasps, not okay with a wasp. I embarrass myself when wasps come around. So I sure hope that that thing does not land on me in the middle of the night or first thing in the morning. I just hope it flew out when I wasn't looking. Because I went around to the back to open up the back door to let it out. When I came back, it was gone. So hopefully that's what happened. But yeah, spiders, big ones. I had big spiders. I'm fine with those. Big spiders. I'm cool with those. But these little and they just sting you because they're not nice. Yeah, not okay with that.
In 2019, we outgrew our house, so we downsized to a home on wheels. We built out our Sprinter van and traveled the country until we decided to buy a property, a home on land. We are Marcus, Janie, Rhea, and Kaya.
Day something. Just look here. Today is the first day that I actually don't feel like recording. I don't know that I don't feel like doing anything. Just don't feel like recording. But I'm showing up. I'm here. We're here. Marcus spent the night here last night in the van. We have our van parked out here. We're still in the apartment while we do this. But I think a little bit of reality has set in. The reality of really starting to work on this house, on the little house. Not this one. We're still not going to work on the big one, but the little one. And realizing, man, I have no idea what we're doing. We have no idea what we're doing. This is not our expertise. We are not contractors. We are not handymen, I guess you could say. When we did our house, we did do some major changes to our house, but they were all fairly basic. Like, we didn't have to do anything to the foundation or to the structure or take down any walls that were load bearing. It was mostly, I would say, cosmetic. So now at this point, it's like all of a sudden like, okay, yeah, where are we going to start? So this is my video to myself to encourage myself, like, you can do this, but also to any of you out there, if I can do this, you can do this. If you are whatever project you're doing, it's just a matter of, I think, more than anything, the will to do it and the courage to step out of your comfort zone and to learn and to think critically, to read, to talk to people who know more than you. And so that's kind of where we're at. Like, we were like, okay, let's start demoing the house. Let's get everything done and we can start knocking the walls down. But then I was like, okay, there's got to be a way to knock the walls down. We don't just go in there with a sledgehammer and start beating the heck out of the walls, right? So, we're going to take this day and mostly just do yard work. There's yard work galore. I mean, the property itself, I mean, we can keep busy just with the work of the yard and getting it back to its, what it used to be. Or that's our goal. And then, of course, putting our own spin on it. And but I think we're going to take this weekend. Tomorrow's the Sabbath, so we're going to rest and just spend the day with each other and spend the day in the presence of the Lord. And But I think this weekend, probably on Sunday, we're going to take the time to just really kind of like put some thoughts down on paper. We want to do an earthen house. We want to do a passive solar house, but we're working with what we already have. We're not building it from the ground up. And so, you know, we're going to consult with our friend Jim. He's up in the Omaha, Nebraska area. He's a builder up there, and I'll link his information down below in the video because he's incredible. We went up there and worked on a hay bale house with him, and he's going to do some consulting with us. But I also think we need to find a contractor here just to give us some like ideas of where to start, because I think when we get into that house, just to look at it is overwhelming. I don't even know exactly what we're supposed to do. So I mean, thank goodness for YouTube, right? That we have the resources. And I've already looked up some videos on taking walls down, and we're getting an idea, but I think we need some more direction, and we need to make sure that we have the right tools and everything's in place so that we're not just like spinning our wheels. So that's today. That's the start of today. And so today won't be much. Maybe I'll show you some areas that we're working on in the yard, and before and after, because it's satisfactory. But that's it. So let's get started, y'all. I'm gonna go find my husband. He is not, I just got here and he's not in the van. I bet he has been working already for like hours. I got here a little bit late this morning, and but we're gonna go find him. I hear, oh, he got the lawnmower from the neighbor, from Chris. I bet he's mowing the lawn. Okay, what are you showing me?
Our land out here. I got it with a brush hog and got it down to a manageable level, but our neighbor Chris, he brought over his mower, and he has been working on our land, trying to get it into to look how it used to look. And I told him last night, I said, this looks like a golf course. And he said, that's how Charlie had it. He was very, very detail oriented, and he manicured it. He kept it very well manicured. And so I came out here this morning to try to do some additional work, because he left it here for me in case I wanted to use it. So been out here on that commercial Toro mower and learning how to use it. But yeah, it's beautiful out here now compared to when we first got here, like day one. Come check it out.
That looks so good. We're so cute in our overalls.
She's cute in her overalls.
You're not cute. You're handsome. You're sexy. We were just talking and we realized we should put it on camera. We were having a conversation with the two of us and just talking about our neighbors. Maybe you guys are going to get sick of us talking about the history of this property and our neighbors. Maybe not, but I think it's worth sharing. So Chris and Tara, and then they have their little girl Charlie, have just been, Marcus was just telling me, well, I'll finish my sentence. They've just been so generous and so kind. And Marcus was just telling me about, like, 'cause he stayed the night last night, and he was talking about, well, I don't need to talk for you.
Well, Chris was just over here helping and working on our land, and wanting to be here to work on our land. He just wants to help. And I've had, really good neighbors before, but I've never experienced someone not just so eager to help, but like genuinely wanting to be over here to just contribute and help. Seems such a, it doesn't do justice to how they've been. Beyond helpful. I've never had neighbors that have been so giving before. We've only been here a week.
And we just were talking about like how that's been inspiring. It's inspired me to be a better neighbor, you know. So we're staying with some friends right now, and it's just like made me realize, you know, like what can I be doing for them? Like, oh, sorry, I get emotional sometimes, but you know, what can I be doing to help them? You know, if somebody's going through a hard time, or even if they're not going through a hard time, but you know, like this has really put a meaning to one of God's instructions for us. You know, he tells us to be a good neighbor, and that's not just to the people that are out on the streets or the people, our friends. It's literally our neighbors. And you know, it's just inspired me to be like, you know, wherever I'm at, whatever season, whatever chapter I'm in, wherever I'm living, wherever we're living, I want to be a good neighbor, you know, and to help and to contribute and to just so good. I am the true vine, and my Father is a gardener. Every branch in me that bears no fruit he takes away, and every branch that bears fruit he prunes, so that it bears more fruit. You are already clean because of the word which I have spoken to you. Stay in me, and I stay in you. As the branch is unable to bear fruit of itself, unless it stays in the vine, so neither are you unless you stay in me. I am the vine, and you are the branches. He who stays in me, and I in him, he bears much fruit, because without me you are able to do naught. If anyone does not stay in me, he is thrown away as a branch and dries up. And they gather them and throw them into the fire, and they are burned. If you stay in me, and my word stays in you, you shall ask whatever you wish, and it shall be done for you. When we bought this property, the curb appeal was not my first priority. When we wrote our priority list, there's so many things to do that it was just like, that's not on the top of the list. We'll eventually get around to that. But the more that we get to talk to the neighbors, Marcus met one of our other neighbors last night, and they were just amongst a few of them having a conversation and just talking about how this house, this property, Charlie's property, was the pride of the neighborhood. It was just so beautiful and everybody just loved it. And so it made me think, as I'm working in the yard today, it made me think of, there's a book called The Flower Man by Mark Ludy. I bought it. I think he's from Colorado, so I bought it when we lived out there years and years ago. And so you should check it out. It's this beautiful story of just everything's black and white, and then the flower man comes into town and he just gives a flower to somebody, and then he continues to go on, and the town becomes very vibrant and alive. And for some reason it just made me think of that this place, we want it to be that for everyone who comes here. But now we're thinking, oh man, let's start in the neighborhood. Let's start in the neighborhood and get this place back to how it was, so that the neighborhood has something beautiful to look at and to enjoy. And not only just that, but that it's a start of a connection, a start of a beautiful community where people can gather, and there's a lot to it. So that is what I'm doing today, is just really starting to work on this section here out front, and just trying to get it so that way it's a warm welcome to all who come by.